excited about this catch up because this dude kind of stays in the background. He stay hidden and cerebral. So when they're like that, they usually got a lot to say, a lot really a lot on their brain. You know what I mean? Because you thinking it out, man. Everybody say what's up. We got Jeff Newton in the building. What's up? Well, how you been?
What's going on,
man? This is a reunion 21 years in the making for me, man. I had to hunt you down like a rabid dog, try to get your number. I got your number from Coach Davis. He went and found it for me, man, and I appreciate that because they in the season, so I hated to bother him, but
I feel I know you done spoke to Moye recently too.
Yep. I see he was one of my first ones, man. I love it. I'm gonna do him again. We gotta redo. Because Moye got a lot on his mind.
You already know.
Moye, man, he texts me every day. I say, hey man, I ain't that involved, man. I'm just trying to bring the alumni back together, man. I ain't trying to, do all that kind of stuff. But you and Moye got a history down there in the GA, huh? Did y'all hoop together or hoop against each other?
From we were like 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was at the same rec center and all that.
Oh, okay. What was your? Did you know that AJ was going to end up being the player that he became and a professional at that time, or was y'all just running around hooping?
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much running around just hooping, but we got to like 14, 15. He started being like nationally recognized. So we knew early on he was going to be like one of the top dudes.
Yeah, he was first though, so he was the one that was recognized first.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. What y'all grow up, man? What was the streets of GA like? What city y'all grow up in, and how did that upbringing help shape y'all?
I mean, I was in College Park. He was in East Point. People that are familiar with Atlanta know those. I mean, they some real areas.
Right.
And yeah, we pretty much kept to the basketball court, kept our nose clean, and made it up out of there.
For the people who don't understand, I learned about College Point and East Point, College Park and East Point from Outkast Records. That's
right.
We ain't no money to be going down to ATL, but Outkast talked about it in their early album, Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music.
Yeah.
And so for people to understand, man, kind of walk them through real quick, what you would see in College Park, East Point on a daily basis.
Like, man, what you see some of everything, man. Like, right. We call them like dope boys. You're talking about the trap stuff, all that trap communities where people come to, do their little deals or whatever, illegal deals. And like I said, we just try to stick to the court, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Keep our noses up out of that kind of activity. And we both had great parents. So we're lucky like that. We got to stay away from most of that.
Yeah, I mean, people don't understand. Like, it's hard to stay away from when it's there every day. When you see it coming outside your house, when some of your parents, some of your relatives are involved in the game, some of your friends are involved in the game.
Most of your friends involved in it. They try to, for the most part, our friends try to keep us away from that.
Definitely.
Because, we had other things we need to go do. And we just, like I said, we were lucky like that.
Who was the influencers around you who made sure that and try to help you not get involved into that game with you and AJ? Who was some of your influencers that kept that away from you?
Well, for me, my uncle. My uncle really, he understood what growing up in those neighborhoods was about. And AJ, he had his mom was a teacher, so she pretty much kept him out. You know what I'm saying? The only time, like he could come to my house and spend the night, and I could go around his house. That was probably the only thing we got to go do.
That's it.
We wasn't playing basketball.
That's crazy. what drew y'all to basketball? I mean, AJ, I'm sure AJ could have played 3-4 sports. I'm sure you could have been ran the tallest pitcher in the history of GA, but
Right.
you probably decided not to. What was it about basketball that drew y'all to them courts? And was it like in City Peoria, basketball was the Mecca in Illinois? Was it big back then as it is now?
Not, in Georgia's football is the major sport. But for us, man, we just naturally grown to it. That's what we did every day. Like outside, Mom Dukes got us a court at an early age, got us a hoop.
Okay.
We couldn't get us up off of it.
Wow. Yeah. And at what point did I'm sure you at some point you was a small guard trying to be Isaiah Thomas or somebody at that time, but then you just sprouted up and had opportunity to become Magic. At what point did you hit that growth spurt, and how did it change your game?
Real talk, I was always.
You always tall?
I ain't never have to hit no spurt. I was always, but just playing outside in the neighborhood, that's when you get to kind of learn them different skills, and
right.
Everybody not throwing you the ball on the block in the neighborhood basketball game.
Right. You gotta go get it.
Yeah, that's how I learned most of them extra skills just by being out there in the neighborhood.
Right. That's incredible, man. That's the first time I heard that. Everybody else I've talked to always hit a spurt around sophomore year, freshman year. You just where's the height? Where the height come from?
My dad was 5'9", my mom was 5'9", so
okay, so it was tall. Yeah, definitely.
I came out the womb 2 feet. Yeah, they knew I was.
Absolutely, sure. What was your high school experience like? Were you dominant on the floor? Were you just figuring it out? You had a guard that would never pass you the ball, so you couldn't get on. Like, what was your high school experience like as a player?
Great. I mean, my coach, we had a rule. I had to touch the ball every time down the floor. Every time. I had to touch it. So
you can't beat that.
Yeah. But yeah, we had good teams. We had no teams like Moye them had. They did us pretty dirty back in the day. We went to different high schools.
Oh, okay. Where did he go? Where'd you go?
He went to Westlake and I went to Mays.
Okay.
Yeah, I ended up going to school where my grandma lived. It was kind of a better school than I would have went to if I would have stayed in my neighborhood. So I took that route. But on the court, we had a lot of low-scoring games because my coach was like, "Hey, you gonna walk this thing up? It's going in there first before anybody take a shot."
Right.
Yeah. So I kind of got off pretty much all the time.
Did you AJ ever play against each other? And who won those games?
We played against each other once. They beat us by 20.
Okay. So he was at he had other D1s on his squad.
Yeah, they had like 6 or 7 D1s. Whereas we had one.
One, right. And that was you.
Yeah.
And so obviously your abilities enabled you to be a Division I player, and at some point you started to get noticed down there. Was your intention initially to stay in Georgia, or was you always trying to get up out of the GA?
No, I was going to Georgia. I had my mind up probably like my sophomore year. I wanted to go to Georgia. I think Tubby Smith was the coach at the time.
Yep.
Then he ended up moving to Kentucky. I think that's how it went.
Yep.
So once they got a new coach, that's when I basically became a free agent again.
Absolutely. And then Mike Davis, did Mike Davis recruit you hard?
Mike Davis started showing up at the game. We started seeing a black dude in this little, the sweaters they be wearing.
Yeah.
Like in the little bright red sweaters, just showing up randomly at all the games. Showing up randomly in hotels in Vegas where we were playing at.
People don't know.
He just be everywhere.
He was a relentless recruiter, man. Like he wanted you. He was gonna be everywhere you were, man. And that's how he was able to get such the talent like DJ White, yourself, George Leach, AJ. Like he was one of the top recruiters.
He was great.
Yeah, definitely. He said he saw it up in his red sweater. What was that?
He made sure he stuck out.
Did you know him prior to that, or was meeting him the first time was based on your recruitment?
I did not know. When we first talked on the phone, he was like, "Yeah, we done met a couple times." I was like,
"What?"
Then when he finally came down to the house and met, I was like, "Yeah,
that's him.
That dude."
I didn't see you before.
Yeah.
Davis, it was a relentless a recruiter, man. Let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at Bet Rivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with Bet Rivers yet, now's the time. Bet Rivers Sportsbook is offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. But what sets them apart is that they require just one play through to turn your bonus into cash money. When you win at Bet Rivers Sportsbook, they pay fast. And now it's even faster with Rush Pay instant approval for withdrawals. It's safe, it's secure, it's reliable. With March Madness around the corner, there's never been a better time to give Bet Rivers Sportsbooks a try. Go to betrivers.com today or download the Bet Rivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. What was that initial sale on Indiana basketball? Do you remember how he was trying to get you out of the GA? Because that's a culture shot, man. You go up there, you got to get you a triple fat goose when you get to
immediately.
It's a different world for the Southerners, man. Like what was his pull, his card in trying to get you up there?
Well, he asked me. He said, "What you want out of this?" He said, "What you want?" I said, "Well, I like to play on TV. I like to, you know what I'm saying, because my family can watch me play. And I want to go to a great program." And he was like, "Well, I got what you need right here." Exactly. He pretty much let Bob do the rest of the selling. I mean, because most of the coaches came down, they told you like everything you wanted to hear.
Exactly.
Like you're gonna play such and such amount of minutes. You're gonna be whoop.
Right.
Bob came down. Was like, "You gonna play as much time as you earn." At first, I was like, "What?"
Right? Yeah, I ain't heard that.
The other dude just told me I was gonna play 20 minutes. I was like, "Really?" But that's something again. My uncle knew all about like Bob Knight and Indiana basketball. So he pretty much schooled me on like, this is one of the top programs you can, what I'm saying, in the country.
Absolutely.
And, that's something I learned on my first visit down there. I was like, wow, this is like amazing experience.
Right. Was that your first conversation with Coach Knight? Like, what was your first conversation with him? Like, it seems to be similar for everybody. So I already know what you're about to say.
So he came down, he drove down, and he got there. Somehow he got to my house at 8 a.m. And I'm still in the bed asleep. And so when I'm walking down the stairs, I'm hearing Coach Knight. He telling a story, and all I hear is, "Well, damn it, this and damn it that." I'm like, "Oh, my grandma down there, he doing all that cussing down there from my grandma." I'm like, it's not about to be good.
No.
I get downstairs, she laughing, like she rolling on the floor laughing. I'm like,
this ain't
don't let nobody curse like that.
Right, yeah. Hey, man, for people who don't understand, like Coach Knight is filterless. He has no filter, man. And he's the same, the good and the bad about him. He's the same person around everybody. Right. Like you don't get a different Coach Knight because you Jeff Newton. Grandma don't get a different Coach Knight. But with Isaiah Thomas and all the guys we've had on, man, he always end up wooing the grandmothers. Grandmothers and the mamas. You go after he leave your house, you going to IU basically. Like that's
right.
I don't know what he's saying. You remember that? What the goal was for Coach Knight with your grandmother? How he ended up wooing her like that?
Man, that like I said, I wasn't there for that first story he told, but he had her in the bag after that. So everything he said, he couldn't say no wrong.
Right.
He said, "You play with me for 4 years, I'm gonna guarantee you're gonna graduate. You're gonna be successful. You're going to learn the game of basketball the right way." And that's pretty much all I need to hear, man. I just need somewhere to go play.
They was sold on that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then Coach Davis walking out the door, Coach Davis was like, "Man, I know you coming. I'm going to send you the papers. Go and take the rest of your visits. Have fun, take the rest of your visits, but I got these papers waiting on you." You know, he was right.
And he was right. He was right.
Yeah.
What ultimately sold you on it? I know you woo your grandmother, you Coach David. They
Yeah.
always are. People don't understand. They're gonna always tell you exactly what they think you want to hear. But normally recruits always, there's something special that said, like when you said Coach Knight said that you had to earn your time. Like
you had to earn your time.
Like, you had to earn it, and recruiters don't realize that carries a lot more weight than you telling me everything I want to hear. In your process, what ended up being a final straw to say, hey, you know what? They're gonna take care of me. I'm going to IU.
I'm telling you, I'm going back to my uncle. Because on the way, I mean, I was pretty much sold on Coach Knight and the program. And then my uncle pulled me to the side. He said, don't be no dummy. If these folks want you, this is where you need to go. Straight up like that. And I got to so I ain't never really watched Indiana play too much when I was in high school. But then that season, I got to watch a whole lot of y'all guys. I was like, man, and the way y'all played, I could see myself playing in something like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see where you definitely could fit. When you walk through that door, I'm like, this dude should have been with me 3 years. Like we winning if we got, because you came in, you had to get adjusted to the Big Ten and even just the regimen of school and life, which was a big change. But I was like, that's where the game was going. Long, athletic, rangy, can shoot, can handle. I said, this dude is gonna be like, where y'all been? Like, y'all took too long. Like we
was coming though. We was coming. Like the next year, we got JJ too. The next year,
yeah, JJ the next year. I'm like, I'm sitting there watching y'all. Like, I ain't got to play no defense with that group. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm letting you go. I'm letting you go in there and good luck. And I'm heading out. I'm going to get layups. That's an extra 5 points a game. I get 6 points a game. So, but before we get into your Hoosier career, man, I'm gonna go through what I call a Hoosier 10, man. I'm gonna ask you 10 questions that IU family know. First question is, what dorm or apartment did you stay in your freshman year?
Oh man. Oh.
Did you stay in a dorm or they let y'all stay in an apartment? You on mute, I think. I think you're on mute. Okay.
Yeah, we was in apartments. I forgot the name of them. There was one right behind the villas.
Right behind the villas?
You remember Varsity Villas? That was right across the street.
I remember Varsity Villas, yeah.
Oh, we was in a little apartment right behind there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your favorite restaurant to eat in when you was a student at IU?
It was when we went to them team meals at Zagreb's.
You're going in on that one.
Matter of fact, every time we go back, we stop in there. Every time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When the last time? That's the next question. When the last time you've been to Bloomington?
We were in there last November, I want to say.
Okay. What was that occasion?
Yeah, last November. Me and George had brought the we got the barbecue food truck.
Oh, okay.
So they was doing Hoosier Hysteria.
Yes, okay, yeah. That's that, yeah. Y'all
we brought the truck up. Man, we ended up serving like 1,000 people that day.
Man, they gotta do that again. It's gonna be even crazier this year.
Yeah.
And you should come down for the football games.
We had a deal in place. We were gonna do all the football games. We're gonna set up in the basketball arena. We had a deal in place right before COVID hit.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah. Dang. We was gonna do all the tailgates for all the football games. We was gonna have a stand inside the stadium.
That would have been a nice month right there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get that going again. I mean, I don't know who you have to talk to. That'll happen again. Be even better this time. What player gave you the hardest time individually in the Big Ten?
Oh, I remember. It was when you was there. For some reason, they thought I could guard Michael Redd.
He said, I thought I could go. Man, Michael Redd was a bucket. We put you on Michael Redd, man.
Yeah, man. I couldn't believe it either.
That's supposed to be Dane problem. What was we tripping on?
I don't know, man. I don't know. So I kind of came out on him, and he just raised in my face. I'm not used to that.
You're right, yeah.
There's no way he's shooting this in my face.
Right, yeah.
Black.
Pro.
Yeah, it's about to be a long, long day.
He said it, so for some reason they put me on Michael Red. What was the loudest gym you played in on the road in the Big Ten, if you can remember? I know my
probably Michigan State.
I was gonna say Michigan State, man. Yeah. We had a game 1 up there. Our friend. Did you win at Michigan State?
We you know what?
Because they was loaded when you was
yeah.
I mean, Kirk hit the game winner at home that
year. Yeah, I remember that. I don't think we won at Michigan State.
Yeah, we had a chance. My senior year, your freshman year, it was up like 6 with a minute left, and we didn't close it out with some free throws, and then Moye hit a 3 in my face in overtime. I knew it was over, and we didn't have much. Like we had to win. We needed to win now. Like but that was a tough place to play. Loud. It was just something about it. And Purdue, obviously. Purdue felt like
something about that Michigan. They had their student section like right there on the court.
Right there, yeah. They talking stuff to you, taking the ball out. Like it's a hostile environment, man. What was your most, if you think of it sometimes that Mike Davis made y'all laugh, or what was your most memorable Mike Davis moment? You ain't got to go into detail yet. Just what did he do? Because I know he did something crazy. Hey,
man, I never forget this.
It's a family podcast, man. Tell the
story. So we had lost to Southern Illinois. Mm-hmm. He on the way back to the locker room, he take his jacket off. He slings his jacket somewhere. He said, "I mean, fellas, they gym is old as hell." And look, when I say we had just lost the game, so everybody kind of mad. But when he said that, I was like, I looked at JJ, he looked at me, and we just sat back in the locker and started laughing. Oh, it's funny, Newt, JJ. I'm gonna run you down. Just say he ran us a lot that morning.
I know, man. I know. What is the most memorable? You did spend a year with Coach Knight. What's one good memory about Coach Knight that you had? Had to be a story, something he did.
I had never set a screen before in my whole career. I never set a screen. And one day he was like, "You know what? You my best screener I got." I said, "Well, thanks, Coach, because I really don't know if I'm doing it right."
Right. You ain't know what's going on.
I mean, you made it easy. You made it easy for me.
Right.
It ain't too much. You just run off and I look like I'm doing it right because you making the shots.
Just get in the way, man. That's all. That's my motto. Get in the way. I'll get away from these dudes.
Yeah.
Get in the way. And let me ask you this: your favorite? Give me 5 of your favorite IU players that you've watched, that you personally watched.
You up there? Mm-hmm. My guy Coverdale's up there.
Absolutely, I love watching Tom. Just his story was crazy.
Yeah. I love watching Depot when he was there.
Yeah.
DJ was one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And Earl Calloway was one of my favorites.
Like Earl?
Yeah.
Is he from down there?
Earl was down there with us. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah.
What Earl doing now?
Earl's still overseas, I think.
Still hooping a little bit? I'm out there. Give him a call, man.
Earl's he's staying with it.
That's what's hey, so some people stay with it, some people get away from it as soon as they can. We'll definitely get to that. Hey, let's what one teammate do you miss? This is the last question. What one teammate do you miss playing with the most and why?
Me and JJ was always, we had fun out there.
Absolutely.
So it was a lot of fun playing with him. We were both like interchangeable, so we could guard a lot of different type of guys. It made the game easy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, you had a heck of a career, man. Did you end up being the all-time leader in block shots?
Yeah, I did get that. George is mad about that too.
Was it?
He's still mad about that to this day.
That's crazy. Do you remember? I don't know. I think it might be an Isaiah Thomas or someone. A veteran came in practice one day into our locker room, was talking to us. I vividly remember this, and he was like, "Who in here is a shot blocker?" or something like that. And I just remember you never said anything. Like, and look, this day you was like,
I tell this story all the time. Now he said,
"Who was it?" First of all,
he said, Who in here didn't think they done won something before? And I'm straight coming out of high school, AAU, like you ain't won.
Yeah, exactly. who was the veteran that said that?
That was Isaiah.
It was Isaiah. Okay, I thought it was Isaiah.
And then one of y'all won nothing. Y'all ain't won nothing yet.
Yeah, he was cussing us out.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll never forget that. I was just like, this is my first time seeing Isaiah. I
regretted raising my hand. I never raised my hand for nothing else.
Right.
I'll tell you that one.
I just remember, I didn't know what it was for. I thought it was because he was asking y'all who was a shot blocker, and you felt like you was a shot blocker. And I was like, oh, shit, this dude did raise his hand. I already knew what was coming, man.
Instant regret.
Anyway, man, you had a heck of a career, man. In your freshman year, though, what was your biggest adjustment to the college game? Like, because I remember you coming in, and I think you helped us a lot early, and it seemed like you helped us early, and then you kind of hit a wall, and then you were just trying to play yourself out of it. What do you remember about that time?
I remember once we got to the Big Ten season, and everybody we played against was 6'10", 250 or better.
Right.
I came in 185.
Yeah. So
so having them boys leaning up on you for all that, for them amount of weeks, that probably took a lot out of your boy.
Absolutely. So definitely, automatically, it was just weights.
Had to get stronger.
You was a lean guy anyway. You wasn't gonna be 250. You was going if you got to 210, you was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's why I stayed about 210, 215.
Yeah.
But I needed every bit of that weight. I needed every bit.
Well, how did you adjust playing for Coach Knight? Was there a moment I know I did. It was a moment where you felt like, man, I might have made the wrong decision. I don't know if it's for me. Was there a moment you had like that, and how did you adjust it to his coaching style?
We talking about Coach
Knight. Yeah, your freshman.
No, I had most of my coaches I had growing up were pretty in your face, cuss you out, intense coaches. So I didn't see a difference in that aspect of it. Now, we'll tell you this. I don't know if you remember the game we played against North Carolina down there.
Yeah, yep, I remember.
And they had Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers and Brendan Haywood.
I thought I had made it. Brendan Haywood, I was like, I made a mistake. I don't belong here with these boys.
Right, because they had what's the white kid name? The inside.
Him too. I forgot his name.
Pro ball. I forgot his name. But he was one of the best in the ACC at the time. Their front line was bananas.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how the hell we won that game. That's the genius of Coach Knight. He'll put you in positions where you make people do stuff. They had Joe Forte. I think they went to the Final Four that year.
Yeah. They had a squad. I didn't know I was ready. And there was one time during that game, Coach Knight drew me up a play. He said, all I want you to do is come off the screen, turn, put your head down, lay it up. I said, huh?
Dude,
wait, you sure me?
Yeah, right. Supposed to be AJ.
So some way he knew that they were going to switch. I ended up with Brendan on me. So literally all I did was turn, put my head down. I was at the rim. I was like, oh, that really worked.
That was crazy. What's his name had a big front line too? Temple.
Oh, yeah.
We went to play them somewhere on the East Coast, and they had Big Kevin Lai, they had Lamont Barnes, and they had, it's like three big, I'm like, man, we ain't breed them right up here in the Midwest. Right. But people don't understand how physical it was at that time. And, you watch, not a lot of fouls called today, but it was no fouls called. I mean, there's a lot of fouls called today, not a lot back then.
They let you play.
Absolutely. When you had a solid freshman year, man. I felt like, like I said earlier that, we needed guys like you 3 years before, but it ended up setting you guys up for some successful times.
Right.
When you ended that season, what did you feel like you needed to work on to take your game to the next level after the end of your freshman season?
Had to get stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I saw I was gonna have to guard a lot of different types of players.
Right.
So I had to work on that. I had to get in the gym, and every time we played pickup, I had to guard a guard. Mm-hmm. At least for a game or two.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that Michael Redd situation, that haunted me a little bit. Yeah. Didn't want that to happen.
He said that situation.
Yeah.
You go into that summer, I know you had high hopes to get to your player development in order, but then Coach Knight gets fired. What were your thoughts? Did you ever think about leaving, or was it just a situation where you kind of knew Coach Davis was going to slide in, or how did you feel about, Coach Knight being fired and not being able to complete what I'm sure he talked to you guys about winning a national championship? You guys had what it took, once JJ came aboard, once AJ came in, those were the players those type of players that was missing in order for us to get over that hump. He was always good, but to become great, you need the other pieces. Right. So how did you feel when he was abruptly let go in the summer?
We was all angry about it, man. Like, because we didn't think it was a fair shake.
Right, yeah.
At the time. So, and when it first happened, we didn't know what was going to be the coaching situation.
Yeah.
But I think once Coach Davis and Coach Treloar decided they were going to stay aboard, that's when I think everybody else in the locker room was like, okay, we're going to come together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And finish what, Coach them started.
Mm-hmm. They kind of joke about, I had Coverdale on, I had Jeffries and Moye. They kind of joked about Coach Davis's his speech to you guys, or what, when it was decided that he would be the head coach. Do you recall any of Coach Davis's introductory speech to you guys?
I wasn't there that first day.
Oh, okay.
Because it was like, this was back when cell phones and stuff had just came out. Mm-hmm. Not everybody had one yet. So to get in touch with the team, you had to, I don't even remember how they used to do it.
Right, but exactly.
I had kind of got off the grid once all that Coach Knight stuff happened. I went off the grid. Nobody could find me. So I'm hearing, like, the next day, he was like, bro, we had practice at 6 this morning. I was like, what? How? Really? like, yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
So you missed the first practice.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too. We had them folks out on the track.
He set the tone that day, didn't he?
Yeah, he set the tone.
He set the tone.
Yeah, but once he took over, man, he wanted to make sure all his practices were competitive. Absolutely. Like everything we did was a competitive, like, game situation type. Mm-hmm. And if you lost, it was gonna be some repercussions, suicides, sprints, or whatever.
Yeah,
he made it hurt.
Right.
So everybody competed every day, like your life depended on it, because it felt like it did.
Well, did you have a parting conversation with Coach Knight? Did he ever try to get you? I know he tried to get a lot of guys to come on down there to Tech with him. It wasn't that summer, but maybe the next year. To leave.
He had everybody over to his house.
Okay.
And he kind of he wanted everybody to do what was right for them. He said he didn't want anybody making no rash decisions.
Okay.
And just hopping up and leaving just because he was leaving.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So he wanted to make sure everybody was doing right for their situation. Mm-hmm. And that's what I took from that. I'm like, yeah. It had a lot to do with Coach Davis them getting a job.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that made everybody's decision that much easier.
That was the right thing to do for the university, man. You had
right.
Because because
he could have been, the way they did him, he could have been urging us to get up out of there too.
Absolutely.
But he didn't. He wasn't petty like that.
That's good. That's good. You had an opportunity to play with, and I'm sure y'all had a lot of battles on practice with Jared Jeffries, man. Did you see NBA first round pick when you initially ran up? Because I know we competitors. You're gonna look at him and measure yourself like, everybody looking at you. I'm saying with you as before the team part begins. But did you see what was special about JJ?
Like, he was one of the first people that could pretty much do everything out there on the court. Mm-hmm. So I got a chance to play against him the summer before my freshman year. We did one of those, those barnstorming tours you go on around the state.
Yep.
So when I played him then, I was like, oh, he's special.
Right. Right. So he's special.
Yeah. So I knew from even before he got to Indiana. Mm-hmm. And I got a chance, me and him got a chance to become friends. Like my freshman year was his senior year in high school. So I caught a lot of his games in, and he used to come over and hang out at the apartment, and, we became friends then. Mm-hmm. And just from the way he carried himself, how he used to always get in the gym and work no matter what.
Right, no doubt.
But yeah, he's going to be one of the special ones.
Absolutely. You looking back at your career, man, you had to really take a back seat all the way up to your senior year, man. Right. How did you maintain and make it all about winning when you could have easily, to me, if you would have played a lot more started, got a lot of the recognition, you would have easily been a pro NBA. You know what I mean? You would have got the notoriety everybody else was getting, but I don't think you really started consistently until your senior year, maybe into your junior year. You know what I mean? How was you able to just, I'm gonna take this role because it's gonna be what's best for the team winning? Because I know Kirk Haston was there with you. It was Kirk and Jared. Then it was then you and Jared, and then what I mean. So every you had to. I'm sure the Coach Davis had to divvy out those minutes, but you took the back seat, man. Why were you able to get through
it? Winning gonna heal a lot of those wounds. When you going out and you actually in games, you got a chance to win out a lot of them games. That healed a lot of that, the stuff you hear from other fans that think you should be starting family members who think you should be starting. Right. But when you win it, and I'm finishing out most of them games anyway, whether you started or not. So that kind of took that out of my head.
Right. He's just unselfish. He's an unselfish player, man, and an ability to do that contributed to a lot of wins. And people don't understand how difficult it is when you got people in your ear. Like that's why you see a lot of these kids today making bad decisions. Is because they got people telling, man, you should be starting because you better than him. You more athletic than him. Is like, and they listen to it, transfer, and then just destroy their whole career, man. So I understand, especially at a Big Ten school where you're on TV every day, your family members see you every day. They want to see you do well, but they don't understand the process. So they try to mess it up. They unknowingly mess it up for you, man. And I was looking at your stats. I'm like, he didn't start a lot, until your senior. You almost like you got rewarded your senior year. Like, all right, man, took the back seat long enough, man. 34 games played, 34 games start. And your numbers went up. So, what I mean? How did you enjoy, or did you like the way that Coach Davis used you, or would as you're looking back, you think you could have done a lot more in his system?
Yeah, we had to do because of just necessity, really. Right. The team we had, we was probably one of the smallest teams in the Big Ten. By the time I got to be a senior, like Moye played a lot of them games at the 4.
The 4, yeah.
He had the 4. I'm at the 5. That's that's smaller than a lot of D2 schools.
Ask Moye how his backfield today.
Right.
Playing the 4 in the Big Ten, guard Jared Sullinger. Good luck with that.
Yeah, he going through it.
Right.
Yeah. So we had to do, based on, what we had. We had to work what we had.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And it worked for you guys. I just, we all reflect on our careers what we could have did more. I didn't, looking back, through defections and through transfers, I was moved all the way over to the 2 when I first got there, I was just a combo. You know what I mean? I was doing everything. I'm running the offense. I'm coming off. I'm breaking down. Doing everything. My numbers was higher. I mean, they were across the board, and everybody left, and I had to shoot all the balls because, like you said, out of necessity, we just didn't have guys that were, put it in the hole like that. So, it's just reflections. I think it all works out the way it's supposed to work out, man, at the end of the day. And it contributed to winning, man. I had a great time, and we won a lot of games, man. So, but it's March Madness time, man. I know you kind of really get reflective around this time, and I know you see a lot of your guys' highlights. What was it like in that season, that 01, I believe 01-02 season, where you guys made that magical run and you got a chance to really feel the allure of Indiana basketball, the fans, and how crazy it was. I know your VIP status in Bloomington just went all in the state of Indiana, went all the way through the roof.
Yeah.
Like what was that? What made that team special, man?
Man, we just had a whole bunch of unselfish guys, man.
Yeah.
That, like I said, man, Coach Davis put that competitive every day. We only knew one way to go.
Right.
Because every day in practice we compete like that. So we didn't know but one way to play. Everybody was unselfish with it. And to this day, man, it's still one of the highlights of my playing career. Absolutely. Just that run.
I mean, I was there. I mean, I felt inspired. I mean, you got a chance to, the Duke game. Like, I don't know, you was in the Duke game. Once you got that victory, once you got that win and you beat a #1 seed, knock them out, what was that feeling like to, and it's Duke, we beat North Carolina, we beat Duke, we're not losing to those programs.
Right.
I mean, how was that experience just going through that whole 16 process?
I mean, you couldn't really tell us we didn't belong there. We already knew.
Yeah.
But, people didn't give us a chance. I mean, that team was full of pros. So if I was a betting man, I probably wouldn't have either.
Right.
But you couldn't tell nobody in that locker room that we didn't have a chance and we belong there.
Yeah.
So, and then once we got there, we knew we was on something. Something special.
What point in that game did you look around and was like, hey man, we finna win this game? Like, was it a point in that game or just the process?
It was just the process, bro. We down 17 at the half. And we was like, man, take it one bucket at a time.
Yeah.
One bucket at a time.
Was Mike Davis livid at half? Was he going crazy, or what was Mike Davis' demeanor like at halftime of that game?
On the way back in, he said, we're gonna win this game. I said, all right.
Right. Keep it simple.
He noticed something that we didn't out there on the court. And we started taking advantage of some of those things they were doing to us. They kind of had us threw off at first. We started taking advantage of some of those things. Next thing you know, we down 3. We in it now.
Right, we in it. Anything can happen at this point.
Right.
And obviously the Moye block, Jared Jeffrey stepping up to play. Guys just start making plays, man. And that's what we all dream, to be in that position. You guys win that game, you get to the Final Four. The Final Four in your home state, in your hometown, man.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, what was that experience like? And did you have an overload of family members just trying to get in the game? Like, what was that whole being able to play a Final Four in your hometown like? I know that's full circle for you, man. I know that's
it was crazy. Luckily, I got a lot of tickets, so I was able to get everybody up in there.
Okay.
It was, when I say it's unreal, man. Like, I think I was shaking the first time I checked in that game.
I bet.
Just from like, I don't know, butterflies, whatever you want to call it. Like, I went in for like 1 minute and Treelor pulled me right back out. It was like, look, you ready? Are you ready for this? Right. You don't look like you're ready for
this. See it in your eyes.
Yeah. So after that, I went back in, kind of got into a little groove.
You settled in.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a heck of a front line. It was Lonnie Baxter. Was he on that team?
Oh, that was Maryland team. We played Oklahoma.
Oh, you Oklahoma first, then you played.
Yeah.
Okay. Dang. So you get a chance to play in the national championship game, man, and you advance, you survive, you advance, you play Maryland in the national championship game. What was that experience like?
Oh, I'm still mad about that. We was in that game up until like halfway through the second half. And you know, they had a couple pros, Juan Dixon them.
Yeah.
They kind of just flipped the switch on us. Yeah. That was all she wrote.
I mean, it was a heck of a basketball team, heck of a basketball game. Yeah. You guys were a heck of a team as well, man. And I was in the league. I was doing my league things. So I wasn't, you know, I was watching. I'm like, man, they deserve to be there. And I just couldn't imagine how everything changed for you guys within Hoosier Nation. I mean, I can imagine, like, what was it when you guys returned to campus, man? You probably didn't get sleep for a couple of days. Like, what was the atmosphere like in a channel? I know the fans now are clamoring to hear something positive about about that experience, man. What was it like returning back to Bloomington as Final Four participants?
Oh, it was awesome, man. I mean, it was, I mean, you know, being on campus already, being in Indiana, it's already always a buzz around the basketball program.
Right.
But once we got back from that, man, it went up tenfold.
No,
like everywhere we went, man, it was crazy. I'm so happy we didn't have social media back then.
Man, for sure. I don't get on the kids today because I tell them all the time, like, we did the same stuff. We just didn't have no video cameras. We didn't have no cell phones. We didn't have instant social media to get somebody to come. And we did the same things, man. I was like, put them phones up, man, as much as you can. Because that's
much you can.
None of that stuff will get you in trouble. But, you know, I can imagine how the atmosphere was on campus and the buzz and, you know, because automatically they like, we going again. Like, you know, and I'm sure you guys thinking the same thing. Like, we doing this again. So, you know, I mean, it's nothing like that being a part of that, man. So, but you end up being a senior year. You had great numbers, averaging 15 and about 7 and almost 2 blocks a game, man. What was the NBA draft process like for you? And why do you think you ended up not getting? Oh no, did you get drafted?
I did not.
You didn't get drafted. Why do you think? Because you was 16. I mean, you are exactly the prototype of what they play today. Like, you know, I feel the same way about myself because, you know, you either had to be a point guard or you had to be a 6'5" shooting guard. Now they get all kind of little 6'1" gunning guards in the NBA. So, you know, it's timing. It was timing. I came along at the wrong time. You know what I mean? So what was your process like, and why do you think they overlooked you?
Well, I went to a lot of workouts, a lot of teams. I went to pre-draft, all that. And once I got in the meetings with those coaches, they
hit the mute. Oh, here you go, man. You going in and out. You good?
You hear me now?
Okay, I got you now. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So they was pretty much saying, like, you don't really have a position. I heard the word tweener a lot.
Wow.
Like, you in between positions.
Yeah.
And now, you know, they love them type of guys.
Yeah. Everybody a tweener.
Yeah. I'm like,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Like you said, bro, time.
It's bad. It was time. It's all. I always knew the NBA was all about relationships and timing, man. And you got great relationships, you can get in. Which, you know, not playing for Coach Knight, you ain't have great relationships with the NBA. Right. I mean, he didn't. That was just his thing. You knew that before you went there. He couldn't stand the NBA, and he didn't allow them to come in practices and watch you and all that. You know, Mike Davis may have for you, but Coach Knight didn't do that. And then, you know, it's timing. It's like now. Both of our positions are everywhere. You in NBA, you got a little gun and guard. You got a 6'9" guy that can handle and switch and play all different positions, man. So, but you decided, you know what? I'm gonna go on here and make me some money in Japan, right? Is Japan the only place you played professionally?
My first year out, I played in Spain.
Oh, okay.
And then the next year I went to Japan. And I just fell in love with it over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was.
How did you adjust to that, man? Because, you know, playing overseas is a different animal. You gotta adapt to it. Your first year, you're gonna be like, man, I'm ready to go to the crib. I ain't think about these people. They don't speak your language, hard to order food, everything is difficult, little bitty beds, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Small portions of food and drink, like, you know what I mean? You get frustrated, but then there's a calm that happens when you get your checks and you adapt. You get them checks, you're like, all right, I'm gonna make this work. What was it like being a guy roaming around Japan, and what cities were you in?
My first 3, I was in Osaka.
Okay.
And it was me and your boy. Me and your boy Lynn was on the we got on the
Lynn
same
Washington. Shout out Lynn Washington, man. I'm gonna get him on the pod. And so did you put Lynn on?
Huh?
Did you put Lynn on?
Nah, I ended up my agent hit me. It was like, we got a team for you in Japan. Whoop, whoop, whoop. He said, somebody you might know on the team, Lynn Washington. I was like, what?
What? Oh, it's on.
He was like, because he had been over there. He had been over there for like 3-4 years already.
Oh, he was there before you. Okay.
Yeah.
So you step in and make an impact. Like, you become one of the Japan's greatest basketball players, man. Well, Stephon Marbury-ish. How was you able to adjust to that? I know, with the culture change, the diet change, all that kind of stuff. How was you able to settle in?
Well, I mean, my next 6 years in Japan, I was in Okinawa. Okay. So we got all the military bases.
Oh, okay.
It's Americans everywhere. So that wasn't really a culture shock. It was,
okay. You had everything you needed pretty much.
Everything. I had cable hookup. So I can watch American TV anytime. We had plenty of restaurants on the bases.
Absolutely, yeah.
So living over there was pretty easy compared to, other places on the mainland.
Absolutely. How did for me, playing overseas, man, it changed my mindset about, just life in general. I think playing overseas makes you open your mind up and think differently, man. How was that the same for you? Were you able to start thinking more abroad and about things that, are more important to you in life when it comes to family and business and things of that nature? Because you just got time to think at the end of the day.
Right.
You got time to think. What did you how did it open you up and help you mature as a person?
Well, it did open me up to right now, even to this day, it's nothing I won't try at least once.
Right. Yeah.
And I believe that experience I had overseas helped open my mind up to that. It's some foods I would never have tried.
Absolutely.
Now I done tried pretty much everything. I done had every type of raw fish imaginable.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
I grew to love it. Now I love sushi.
Now
I need it at least once a week now.
Did that contribute to your love to, like you talked about the food truck earlier? Did that contribute to that, being over in Japan, or you thought about that before you got over there?
No, not at all. Not at all. So George ended up coming over there to play with me 1 year.
Okay.
So all we did was barbecue. Like every weekend after the games, we have some people over. We'll throw some stuff on the grill. That's when we first started, dabbling into the barbecuing. And he retired a couple of years before I did. And he said he had this idea of, starting a truck. And would I be willing to come in on with it? I was like, you like it, I love it. Let's do it.
Right, let's get it.
And it's been history.
Yeah, that's what's up. What's the name of the food truck?
Moye Barbecue.
Moye Barbecue. We're gonna be looking for that, man.
We're 7 years in,
Yep. We're gonna come down there and support that, especially when you get back down to Indiana, man. You end up being a rock star in Japan, so to speak, man. The team love you, win 6 titles, but what made you ultimately give it up?
Oh man, I was ready to get home, man.
Yeah.
I was ready to get home and start the next chapter.
Yeah,
so to speak. Wasn't getting no younger.
Yeah.
These nagging injuries kept coming up. And
I
was like, man, it might be time.
Definitely.
Time to hang it up, yeah.
Did you have any regret once you did it?
Oh, yeah, immediately.
Immediately, really?
Yeah, that first season, man, back home, I was like, man, what am I doing here?
Exactly.
I had, you say we had a lot of time then. I was like, well, I go work out in the morning and had the rest of the day to just, I'm like, man, I need to be doing something, man.
Right.
Like, I'm going to the gym, I can still play.
Yeah. You think you can still play, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got in the groove, started doing other things.
Yeah.
And finally, got settled into my next niche. And
yeah, definitely.
then I was comfortable with it.
All it takes is something else. Like it's just find out what that something else is, and then your mind shifts, and then you realize, like, oh man, I am too old to be playing some basketball.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't ready for them 2 days.
Exactly. Hey, do you keep up with the current team at all? Have you been keeping up over the last few years?
For a little bit, but like you said, Moye hits you up all the time. Mm-hmm. We probably talk. We got a group chat going. We talk basically all day, every day.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And he keep us knowledgeable about everything going on. Mm-hmm. So even if we don't watch all the games, we know who's the players, who we got coming in, because he keeps us pretty much informed.
Well, you guys were there at a time where 20 wins was the minimum you could do for the program, and making NCAA tournaments, making long deep runs, and now we haven't found any consistency in the IU program since those days. I mean, we had some good moments. I think Tom Crean came in and started to throw out some trash and fix some things and get it back. Right. But then, he had his issues and then he was let go. Why do you think IU hasn't found that, the consistency that they had in the Bob Knight era? If you're a cerebral person. I know you sat and thought about things. You just don't speak on them all the time.
Right.
And but those are the guys that really has some thoughtful things to say when it comes to, because they think about it all the time. Why do you think it's been consistent since you guys left?
Hey man, I can't tell you, because the talent has been there.
Yeah.
So we've been having the talent. I don't know, it's just the chemistry or whatever's going on. Mm-hmm. But we got the players to make some of these solid runs, solid seasons happen. Uh-huh. Just for whatever reason or another, we ain't able to put it together.
Right. Yeah. Well, do you feel like they let Coach Davis go? I'll tell you my theory. My theory is you got to come to grips with your past. Like that's always felt like it was a black cloud hanging over the program once Coach Davis was gone. Like when he left, they started making some questionable decisions, in my opinion, bring guys in. And but when you haven't reconciled your past, as they did finally with Coach Knight returning back in February, but I always felt like that there was a moment to move on from Bob Knight guys. You know what I mean? And I feel like those guys would help bridge a gap. You know what I mean? Like I felt bridge the gap and to keep the energy alive in the fan base, but to also keep Knight's legacy alive, but also move on to the future, man. I think that's where the ball was dropped. I felt it looked as if I don't have any confirmation. It was like when Coach Knight became too powerful, and we don't want that to repeat itself. Right. So, we're going to bring in guys and people who have really not very much of a connection to IU, and we're going to build from there. But at the end of the day, you just got too much history. And people from 2002 Final Four to all these different time periods where the fans remember that, and they can't let that go because there's no resemblance of it. So until you reconcile that and you bridge those gaps, I think you're going to struggle. This is my little personal opinion, man. And it's not for anybody. It's not to downplay any coach or disrespect.
Yeah, I ain't never thought about it like that, but you make a good point. Yeah.
I just been watching. I'm a diehard, but I ain't a diehard. I'm like, I can't they win or lose, but I'm not going to jump on Twitter and start bashing everybody because I stay away from that. But I am smart enough to see that, they went away from what was Indiana basketball.
Right.
And we're talking about from a hiring perspective, you know what I mean? I hope,
Mhm.
and I know I got a good relationship with Scott
Agreed.
Dolson, and I just met with Scott Dolson on this podcast, and you know, I think he understands that. You know, I think he will make the right decisions when the time is right to start bridging that gap.
Right.
And we can all become. It's almost like when Big Mama lead a family. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when Big Mama lead a family, all the family reunions stop.
Yeah.
All the family start. I know when my grandmother passed, like everything just changed. It's like now we arguing for no reason, no more reunions, no more nothing. I said so when Bob Knight was let go, the family, like Jay-Z said, the family feuded. Like, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day,
exactly.
And the only person that could bring that back is Coach Knight, but you went away from everything that is Bob Knight. So it's like you're connected to that. I'm connected to that. Everybody's connected because you're gonna walk through those halls. That's all you're gonna see and talk about. And you know, I think our players, we need to speak up a little more. Not about coaching changes, but we need to speak up a little more about how, you know, they've lost to Purdue 9 times in a row. At the end of the day, like, come on, man, like you
can't have that.
You can't have that. I can't make an excuse for that. I think they lost to Michigan 6 times in a row. I think it's 5 times in a row at home. You know what I mean? Purdue put out a graphic design basically saying Assembly Hall is our home.
Oh,
like, I was like, it's like smacking the hell out of you. And I said, that stuff is unacceptable. I can't, you know, I know the coaching staff over there knows that's unacceptable. Like, but at this point, we got to do something about it. And I think we got a heck of an alumni base, a fan base, and, you know, former player base. And we need to be a little more vocal about the expectations of the program, you know.
Absolutely.
Not, you know, you got to win. I'm not the guy to say you got to win a championship every year. I know how hard that is.
Yeah.
But you need to be competitive, and you need to win.
We need to be competitive, bro.
Yeah, you can win your games you're supposed to win. I know I went off on a little tangent, but you know, I always encourage our former players, like, hey, the time is now. Like, if we want to change, we got to get in Scott Dolson's ear and make sure he understands that the players want change. At the end of the day, we want to be competitive. Whatever we got to do, whether it's with Archie Miller or it's without Archie Miller, we want a team we can watch the game and not be embarrassed.
Exactly.
and sometimes that's why we don't watch the game. Sometimes I don't turn it on. I'm not finna watch it. I'm finna get beat. Like, you could never say that in the Bob Knight era, like, or Coach Davis, that you was gonna lose. Like you just talked about, it was competitiveness. You know what I mean? You guys were winners, man. At the end of the day, we were winners. So I just hope
that's all we want. That's all we want for the program.
Definitely. And you guys did that, man. And what? So first of all, you called the Ooh-Wee barbecue truck, man. And you guys are located right now in North Carolina, right?
Charlotte,
Charlotte, North Carolina. So all our Charlotte listeners and guys and people out in North Carolina, make sure you get to that. Where can they find that truck?
Get us on social media. We're on all social media. Eat Ooh-Wee Barbecue.
Okay. Ooh-Wee Barbecue. So check that out. My I don't know if you remember my stepfather. He opened a barbecue spot here. He called Q for You. He's a big barbecue guy, man. He's been doing it for 2 years. He survived the pandemic. So man, I get you down and you know, get you some service, get you some food out there, man. Because he claims to be one of the kings of this thing. So you know.
All right.
So, but man, I appreciate you joining me, man. And but my last question to you would be, what made IU a special place, and how do you want the Indiana fans to remember you?
Oh man, well, first of all, the fans made it special. As soon as I stepped foot on campus, the fans welcomed me in with open arms, and I don't think we got it's not another school fan base like ours.
Right, that's true.
So that's the one thing I want to say. And me, man, just a guy that did what he had to do for the team. Be known as one of the ultimate team guys.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Ultimate glue guy, man. Jeff Newton stepping to the House of Hoosier podcast. Man, we're delighted to have you. Glad to catch up with you, man. See what's going on. Glad to see you doing well. I see the jerseys in the background. I see IU. I see the IU emblem in the background, man. And you
always repping, man. Always
represent. I got my own little room out here. I got a little corner in my basement. and it ain't gonna be nothing but IU faithful. So man, we look forward to you. We look forward. Make sure you reach out so we can get you on, so we can support. If you come back, you bring the food truck down to Bloomington, so we can drive people to those places, especially football rocking. So it's gonna be a lot of tailgating this year.
Oh yeah.
And make sure y'all get down for that. And obviously, Hoosier hysteria, man.
Hey man, appreciate you, bro.
No problem, man. Good to see you, bro.
You too, bro.